Welcome everyone, it's Odaiba here. Welcome to my live translation stream for the July 30th World Divisions JP official live stream. So just give me a moment here, let me check that the audio is working fine and that everything is smooth, I guess. Okay, I've just confirmed that we are indeed live now. Hey everyone, if you're in the chat, type something, let me know you're here. Gonna minimize a few windows so that I can properly read chat. Daniel Soto, thanks for dropping by. Daniel Soto says, I'm ready, been awake all night. Yeah. You know, and I actually have something I need to say about this live stream because when they announced it, and as you can see on the screen here, like, you know, even in the, what do you call this, the subtitle of the live stream thumbnail, right? They basically they didn't tell us what the new unit is. They just say that, oh, it's summer, it's the ocean, and there's gonna be a swimsuit character unit to be announced on this stream, but they blotted it out. And so I kind of completely forgot that last year during the 3rd anniversary live stream for World Divisions JP, they already confirmed that Summer Glaceila is coming. So for those of you guys who, you know, like me, were still holding out hope that it's some other character other than Glaceila, well, unfortunately, I think our hopes are just completely dashed just because they've said before that it's going to be Glaceila. And I kind of feel like, you know, after they said that, they kind of can't make it any other unit, right? Because I'm sure a lot of people are kind of fixated on the fact that Summer Glaceila is coming, and if the unit to be announced is anyone other than Glaceila, I think there will be some riots on the internet. So that's why when I made this poll, you know, I thought there's a chance that it could be somebody else, but even in the polls, as you can see, most people believe it's Glaceila. Although later on I did change the poll question so that, you know, I wanted to make it a little bit more interesting, and, you know, I wanted to ask people on Reddit which unit they would prefer, or rather which unit they would hope for this year's summer unit to be. But I think most people just read the headline here and didn't actually read the question. So as a result, we do have a lot of Glaceila votes, even though Jeume is, I think, by far way more popular in the global version, right? So, even though we do know that the unit to be announced today is Summer Glaceila, there's still the question of what element she's going to be. Whoops. By the way, guys, let me know how the audio sounds. Are the audio balance, is the audio balance okay? I'm sure later on when the stream is actually live, they will actually adjust the volume on their side as well. So I'm not even sure if this is the correct volume to set everything at. Okay, let me take a look at chat. TG Regicide says hello. Ryan M says, hey Odaiba. Daniel Soto says, what element do you think she's gonna be? Okay, so based on the current JP meta, I do think that Ice element needs something new to help them a little bit more, because Ice right now, the predominant Ice team in World Divisions JP right now is actually quite good, but it's just missing a little bit of power to let them become fully meta. Like, obviously, Ice team right now is very good against Wind, and it's actually decent against a number of other key matchups, but it's still a little bit on the weaker side, so a lot of JP players are actually hoping that Summer Glaceila will be Ice element. But another thing is, if you look at this hint, right, if you look at the subtitle here, you do notice that the color of the hint text is actually watercolored. So some people are guessing that she may be water element based on that, even though a lot of people, you know, I think would be quite unhappy if she turns out to be a water unit, just because water element in World Divisions JP, and even in World Divisions Global, water element has been, you know, for the most part, always been like the weakest element in the game, right? even after fairies is out, even after people have tried playing around with fairies teams and all of that, water is still considered, I think, the weakest element in the game. So it could be water element, but a lot of people definitely hope that water is not the element for Summer Glaceila. Krish Smith says, surely one of these Glaceilas will be ice to match her namesake. Since a long time ago, I was thinking maybe it would be pretty cool to one day have like a dark Glaceila who's ice element in the timeline where she actually killed off her family due to orders from her father, right? I think that would have been interesting to be an ice element Glaceila, but it's kind of going into like alternate timeline kind of situation, so unfortunately, I think that's a good idea, but it will probably never come to pass. Oh. And that was Misochiru doing a gag for the opening of the show. Since it's a swimsuit unit and swimming is the theme here, she thought she would do a little bit of swimming in front of you guys. Like I said, that's Misochiru, whose name is Ishikawa Rie. This is Fujita-san, the director for War of the Visions. And this is Nakai-san, the operations producer for War of the Visions JP. One person is missing, right? Unfortunately, Nakai-san just explained that unfortunately Asaruto-san is not here for the live stream today because he's fallen ill. Although he really would love to come, the weather right now in Japan is quite hot. So, because of that, Nakai-san wanted him to, take care of himself first and foremost. So, due to that reason, he is taking a break from today's live stream. And so, but I'm sure he's watching the stream from home. So, Nakai-san and everyone wanted to wave to him and say, hey. So this time around, it will just be the three of them for the live stream, Misochiru, Nakai-san, and Fujita-san. But the problem is that Asaruto-san is actually the official MC for this program. So with him not here, it's kind of difficult because somebody has to be the MC. And Fujita-san just said that, for him it's really hard because without Asaruto-san, it's hard for him to have somebody to bounce, things off of. So he thinks he'll have the hardest time today. And he's going to be a little bit nervous because of that. So when Fujita-san heard that Asaruto-san wouldn't be coming, he was, he had a bit of a nervous breakdown early on. But with that said, they're going to do the best they can and bring the program to us tonight. And here is the lineup for today's live stream. First and foremost, they're going to share with us the latest unit information for War of the Visions JP right off the top of the program. This is followed by the latest event information and campaign information. And then the third part is a special corner. So it's not explained here, but they did tell us in advance the special corner will be like a place where they share in-game statistics of, player data and all that kind of things. So they're talking about the identity of the unit now. They did hint before the start of the program that this character has 4 syllables in his or her name. And because of that, people on Twitter, War of the Visions players on Twitter, actually had a field day with it. Because if you think about it, Asaruto is also 4 syllable. Alaya is also 4 syllable, and there are people who guess that. But I guess one of the funniest one was Asaruto. A lot of people think it's going to be Swimsuit Asaruto-san because of his name being 4 syllable. There are some other really funny ones, like the one I saw was Will of Light, because Will of Light in Japanese is 4 syllables as well. But unfortunately, Unfortunately, some people were hoping that maybe it's Hirono, swimsuit Hirono, but Hirono is 3 characters, 3 syllables, so it can't be him. So before they get into the main meat of today's program, they're gonna cover the presents again. You guys may find this familiar because recently for the global version, Hiroki's presents have been changed to this format as well. Previously, what happened is in JP, we would vote for which one of these 4 options we would like for the presents, right? And in global version, what happened is Hiroki just decided he's just gonna give us everything listed in the JP presents, like all of the options, we get everything. But recently in global version, they've changed it to this format where they're gonna give us like a ticket, and then from the ticket you can pick like which of the 4 options you want. So for those of you guys who thought who were wondering why global version Hiroki presents received the nerf, that's because of this thing here. Alright, so with that covered, they're gonna get into the swimsuit discussion right away. Gonna take a moment to read the chat. And here's the video trailer. No! It's water element! Do I just skip her now, you guys? Wow, look at that limit burst animation. And there you go. Swimsuit Glaceila is here, you guys. Like I was saying now, is it okay? Because some people kind of expected this to begin with. So she was, Glaceila was first place in the popularity poll conducted last year during the 3rd anniversary as well. So, and they announced it. I don't know if they remember it, but they announced it before anyway. So it was always going to be her. And with creating this character, apparently everyone on the team worked on creating Summer Glaceila. So they actually, oops. So the thing with Glaceila in the game is that she rides on Chocobo a lot, right? She's a character that moves her body a lot. And so for the concept of this, they thought, you know, while putting her in a swimsuit, that's not enough. They want her to, you know, be more like sports-like, because in the main story, she has this concept of, she tends to move around a lot. So they wanted her to be very, you know, active, very sports lady-like, very sports girl-like. So that's the theme of Summer Glaceila, swimsuit and sports girl. So what happened last year was when it was announced, when it was revealed that Glaceila is the first place popularity poll winner, Noguchi from the story team decided there and then, well then we gotta have Glaceila doing some surfing. So that's why in the Limit Burst you do see a bit of surfing with Glaceila. That's all thanks to Noguchi-san from the story team. I believe Noguchi-san has appeared in one of our global version live streams sometime back. And with swimsuit Glaceila, obviously she's a limited unit, and players will be able to pick her up in the World Vision JP from August 1st all the way to August 24th. Her element is water, and she is a cost 100 as expected. So we're gonna go into the describing the performance, starting with the Limit Burst. Grando Swelu Slash. So Glaceila's ATK is increased, and then after that, she will do damage L to the unit, and then for 2 turns, she will have area resistance greatly increased. Weapon. From the icon, it may seem like it's a slash unit, but she's actually she's a sword unit. So I believe the sub-jobs are Knight and Thief. And she has Steel Heart from Thief. I miss out on what the ability from Knight is, but I'll check it later after the end of the stream. Sorry, it's not Knight, it's Dragoon. Ryukishi. So, was one of the jump moves, I forgot which one. So, as for her limit burst, the concept is to basically, have her increase her defenses while still being able to do damage. And she is a tank. She's a frontline physical tank type. So she's a tank that is strong against physical attacks. And she has the ability to reduce physical damage for her allies around her, as well as do some attacks, and while she's attacking, increase her endurance. So that's the main job. That's the description of her main job. And then now we are on to this skill here. This is a single target attack. You can attack 2 targets, damage M to them, and it will remove their re-rags, and they will get 3 turn defense penetration down, and to Glaceila herself, she gets 1 turn defense greatly increased. Seems pretty good. So with tank, usually tanks have high defense and spirit, right? But the thing is, with attackers, they do have penetration. So the idea here is that with this move, you can reduce the defense penetration on your opponent's units so that she can, increase her endurance due to that. Over here is an AoE attack, Shirley Slash. So since it's called Shirley Slash, you guys kind of have an idea of what this is. It's like a series of attacks in the game already. What it does is to the targets in the area, it will do damage M, and it's of course a guaranteed hit. And there's a chance to cast a stop effect on the targets. Cross-shaped AoE that's guaranteed hit and has a chance to cause stop. That is pretty strong indeed. Next up, this skill over here. And this is a new kind of skill. Fractaru Otome. She has courage, gives her courage, and so gives her courage and to all allies around her except for Glaceila herself. It will give them the ability to reduce, for 3 turns, reduce physical damage. Oh, no, it's not. So, as you can see here, this is a self buff, right? So the buff, the ability, the 3 turn thing goes onto her. But when you have any units close to her, around a certain range, they will receive less physical damage. The range is 4 squares, and then the range height is 1. So as long as you have allies around her, as long as you have allies around her that's at within 4 squares away and the range height difference is not more than 1, they will automatically get the physical damage reduction for those allies for 3 turns. So just to be clear, this effect is a 3-turn buff onto Glaceila herself, and then when she has this buff for the next 3 turns, if let's say her agility is really, really low, you could even have units around her getting this effect. There's one more added effect. So basically this, this skill has 2 new elements to it. One element is that when your allies are around Glaceila, they have this effect. So that's one thing. And the second new effect is that the damage reduction is to physical damage reduction. So this is a little bit different from, shell or, area resistance and all that. It's basically the same vector. It's actually the same thing as, the hope thing where, if you have Genji Glove, that gives you like 10% extra physical damage, right? So this effect is like the reverse of that. So with tanks, you obviously with Alphonse and some other tanks, you tend to be able to put her in put them in like different elements, right? So with Glaceila having this skill, it's also meant to be used in that way as well. You can basically put Summer Glaceila in any team that you want, and with this effect, it will basically be able to protect, your allies with this effect. But it's only for physical damage. It doesn't cover magic damage, so there's nothing for that. So if you want to defend against magic attackers, then Celis is still going to be the better choice. Whether is anyone confused with how this skill works, because I realize the way I explained it is kind of difficult to understand. But this is a self-buff. The 3-turn ability goes on Glaceila. And what that ability does is that as long as anyone is within 4 squares away from Glaceila, they will get physical damage reduction. If you just think of it that way, then, I guess that's the simplest way to explain it. Let me take a look at chat here. And this is a skill that cannot be dispelled. The 3-turn physical damage reduction on ally skill. This is not dispellable. This is a really great skill, and that makes her immediately one of the tanks that is kind of like a must-get thing in the game. Although I guess we have to look at her overall performance. And furthermore, the skill gets EX upgrade. EX upgrade is 3 turn to 4 turn. Wow, and the effect hang on. Wow, this is ridiculous. So after you upgrade the skill to EX version, it's now 4 turns, and then allies in around the area within 4 squares will get accuracy up, and on top of that, Glaceila herself gets the HP recovery skill that you see on tanks like Rafu. So after you upgrade this to EX version with level 120 or level 115, this skill, when you cast the buff, Glaceila will gain the, when your HP falls below a certain amount, you get HP recovery. It's ridiculously good, you guys. And accuracy up, so oh my gosh, all the Fire Evade players must be crying right now. So she has courage, she has barrier, and of course, obviously, area resistance, single target resistance, and she has hate up, obviously. Okay, so the reason why they introduced this is because right now there's a very strong unit with like right now, let's just say right now single target resistance is very important in the game. But then the thing with those resistances is that it either protects you only from single target attacks or area of effect attacks. But this move will actually protect you from both, as long as it's a physical attack. So basically, they didn't say... So basically, they're implying that this skill is supposed to be one of the ways to counter a unit like, Wedding Dress Alaya, or Alaya in white. Because... So basically, to defend against Alaya's attacks, right, obviously you need to raise your single target resistance. But on top of that, this one will actually give you even more, even more damage protection onto your allies. So this is one way you can protect your allies from Lightning Alaya. And Nakai-san is just pointing out now that with this kind of tank character, it also makes it easier for people to run healers, because this is a thing that allows you to protect all your units from physical damage, right? And then, as a result, the healer can just do like an AoE healing to bring everybody back to healthy status again. So we're done talking about the defense of allies. What about her own defenses then? So obviously she has courage. She has elemental chain resistance. She can get protect from herself. And then of course the HP below certain amount, HP recovery. Huh? She has re-raise removal, guaranteed hit. She can break physical barrier and give herself one turn barrier after breaking the enemy's physical barrier. So basically the same kind of skill that Rizzo has. And of course her limit burst gives her AoE resistance up. And then with the weapon as well, there's resistances on the weapon as well. So Nagai-san said, wait, then isn't she like just OP? Isn't she just OP? And Fujiya-san just said, yeah, normally Asalto-san would be the one to be making that kind of comment. But he's not here tonight. Holy cow, you guys. So basically, Nakai-san thinks that... So basically, this is a kind of unit. It's a new kind of tank. It's a really strong unit. She seems to be a really strong unit, obviously. But it's like a new kind of tank altogether. And Nakai-san herself wants to pair her up with Ares. Seems to be really good if you pair Summer Glaceila with Ares. And then other than Ares, of course, Fujiya-san is pointing out that you can pair her with Ceres as well if you want to. So obviously with Faris, she's going to be good because Faris gives you AoE recovery, right? AoE HP recovery. And then Perene, of course, if you're talking about just the water element alone. Amaryllis as well. But Amaryllis is a character with very low endurance to begin with, so, that's a bit of a problem for her, but obviously you can kind of improve that using this skill here. And Nakai-san says, so in summary, if we would just use 3 things to describe her, she's kawaii, and she's tough, and she's also kawaii. So if Nakai-san were to use 3 words to describe Summer Glaceila, it would be kawaii, tough, kawaii. So what should the JP players call her for her nickname? Aosera, Kawasera, those are... So basically in JP version, the flag bearer Glaceila is called Hatasera because Hata is flag in Japanese, right? And then right now they're just bouncing a bunch of nicknames for Glaceila. So right now seems like Nakai-san's favorite is Samasera, which is basically Summer Glaceila. And then early on he said one suggestion was Katasera, which means tough Glaceila or hardy Glaceila. Tanky Glaceila, I guess, is kind of the meaning for that. So there you go, that's the description for Summer Glaceila. At the end of this broadcast, I will go and listen to this again and let you guys know if there was anything missed out that I didn't catch during the first pass through, because sometimes when I'm speaking over them, sometimes I'm not able to hear exactly what they said. So I'll revisit that. There's one part about the HP recovery skill that Fujita-san mentioned. I'm not sure if I heard correctly, but apparently apart from apparently there's some other thing about the HP recovery thing, so we'll revisit that later. So this is the weapon and the special quest for Glaceila, Summer Glaceila. I'm not sure if global version will have this already, but they've changed the these. Okay, let's go to the sword first. It's a new weapon. It's not an exclusive Glaceila weapon, but it will give special passives for certain jobs. Slash attack up is the general effect, and for certain jobs they also get, like King Mont and Paladin and Charlotte. So basically tank jobs, they will get defense penetration up, and when their HP is below a certain amount, then say all elemental resistance goes up. So with this weapon, you know, even if you're not using Summer Glaceila, for paladins and for other tank characters, they can benefit from this sword. Defense penetration up, and when HP is below a certain amount, all elemental resistance up. And I believe with this kind of effect, it will actually stack with Alexandrite Ring, if I'm not wrong. And this time, there's gonna be special campaigns for Glaceila as well, Summer Glaceila. JP 5 times the amount of shots you can get from shots. The likelihood of the shots appearing will be higher than normal. Oh no, it's not even appearance increase. It's confirmed there will always be a slot. And then of course with Glaceila, like with the other characters, Melnia and Alaya, we will get barracks. We will get what do you call this? Barracks time reduced by half. So basically, instead of one shard, instead of 12 hours for one shard in the barracks, for Summer Glaceila it will be 6 hours. Like you will get one shot every 6 hours. So with Glaceila, somebody had a question about hate. So she definitely has hate up. She has a way to get her initial hate up increase. So it sounds like she may not have a skill later on that increases her hate, but at the beginning of the fight, she'll have something that gives her hate up. And this is the new Summer Vision card, limited. You can't get it outside of the summer season. And it's really cute. Cute version of Glaceila with the cute version of Lilith. Seems like, is it just me or they seem to be looking younger as well? Oh, and El Shira is here, so El Shira is sleeping. El Shira is sleeping with a smiley face, not something that you can normally see in the game. She's featured in this VC in such a way. This is cost 70, but it's a weapon. Fist, katana, and something else I don't remember. Area resistance up and AP obtain up. And there's a vision ability on this. Sorry, for this I'll have to go back and listen to it again because I kind of missed when he was saying it. The ability? The ability is a fist type move that reduces damage. And it seems like Ketone is in the vision card somewhere, apparently. Did you notice? By the way, for the effects of this vision, I'll come back to this again at the end of the stream. What I did here was, there's 4 weapon types that benefit from this. So the first one is sword, but I don't remember which variation of the sword class gets the effects. Second was fist, and then the third was katana, and the fourth one I don't remember. The effects also, the second one I wasn't quite sure, because as I was listening to it, I kind of forgot about it. The first one is definitely area resistance up. And then the third one I forgot already as well. But this is an AoE resistance card, basically. Did anyone? So, KWL in chat says 70 cost means there's ability, right? Yep, they confirmed there's an ability. It's a fist attack type ability. And it will have some kind of damage protection trait attached to it. But I didn't, as I was trying to process the information beforehand, Fujiya-san talked about it, so I couldn't really... I don't remember what he actually said, but it's some kind of damage protection effect. Kitty Law says maybe it's acquired AP. Are you talking about the ability? Acquired AP, I believe is the second effect of this card. And then the third effect, I don't remember what it is. Later on, when they're talking about something that's not that important, I'll go back and listen to this. So it's really unfortunate that Assaulto-san is not here, because Assaulto-san, one of his favorite units is actually Ketone. And apparently Ketone is featured on this card somewhere. There's one more thing Nakai-san would like to introduce to us. You guys know who this is. Dark Siren is coming, cost 90. 1 week after Summer Glassella. Oh man. And obviously all of these are coming to global really soon because it's, the summer unit and the summer VC. Water element and earth. Water and earth element vision card. So it's taken them a while. And some people have been asking, when is the water Dark Esper coming? So it's finally here this time. From time to time, as you know, they introduce the Dark Espers. And with the abilities for the VC, they can't talk about it yet because they're still adjusting it. So we have to wait for next week to find out. Kitty Law is like, hiya. If you guys are Asian, you might understand that expression. It's basically a sighing kind of expression. Some campaigns here, nothing seems to be that impressive, just the usual stuff. This one is for selection quests as well as the daily quests, including your trust stone stuff. So basically in this month in JP we will get twice the amount of elemental prisms and what is the other thing? Fragments of thought from the selection quest. And this season right now in Japan is also the Obon season, so there will be Obon campaigns as well. So typical story quest, 2x EXP stuff, nothing really that impressive. And then we do have the weapon, weapon enhancement rate up campaign. And then, of course, we have guild presents, guild medals and friend medal campaigns. So nothing really important here. Space Adventure asks, why Earth? Well, because Earth is the counter element for lightning, right? And water is weak against lightning. Did you not expect Siren to be water and earth element? Dark Siren. Swan Princess 7899 says, no way more 100 cost barrage. So surprised. And then there's something else Nagai-san has to share with us. When it comes to summer, what do you think of? Apparently 2 years ago, Nishida-san, the voice actress for Glaceila, for Killfei, said something about this before. When it comes to summer, of course, it's the ocean. And when you talk about ocean, of course, you gotta talk about beach volleyball. And so there will be a Summer Splash campaign. This is a mini raid where you hunt krakens. And we get, from this mini raid, we'll get the Mog Beach Ball. Mughal Beach Ball, I guess is the English translation. So this will be similar to the Addison Ray mini raid we had in Global recently, which means that the boss level will go up to level 30 only. We had the first mini raid in JP was actually last year during Christmas, where we had a Christmas mini raid, which did not come to Global, by the way. So most likely this mini raid event will probably not come to Global as well, but I mean, it's anyone's guess if it will come to Global or not, given that we already have so many things that need to come out before the end of September. Coin Monty says, Dark Siren equals Earth plus water equals mud. Yeah, it's a mud Esper, we don't need to pull for it. Kitty Law says, pray for pack F and H. Indeed, I will be praying for that. For sure. I want to pack F and H for JP as well, because now that it's confirmed that Glaceila, that Summer Glaceila is a water tank, more or less that means I will have to pull for it, I think. Because usually for tank characters, there's no way you skip out on limited tank characters, just because how good they generally are. And then, of course, next up we have the Water Elemental Tower, which will, upon completion, you will get the materials needed to make a Water Ring +1. And of course, with this coming out, you will get the return of the Porcelain Tower with the Lightning and Ice Towers coming back as well. So one thing that we don't really know about is how will all these summer stuff come out in Global, because, you know, I'm sure they knew from a while back that, you know, the route to worldwide version is happening. So I feel like all these summer stuff should be coming to Global this month, because I don't think they will be able to delay it to December like previously, now that worldwide version is a thing. But I guess we'll find out tomorrow in the game's notices. My guess is Summer Glassella and Ruffle will come out this coming Wednesday. And Nakai-san apologizes for the screen going dark here. Apparently there's some problem with their laptop or PC that they're using to show the slides. So slight apologies for that. Alright, main story. Here is the spoiler things that Hiroki feels that, we are all very concerned about, apparently. Right? Is why worldwide version is happening, right? Is to prevent these kinds of things, is to prevent me from sharing with you guys spoilers like this, right? You guys care about these spoilers? Do you guys care about these kinds of spoilers? So I think I'm gonna... Maybe I should just take this moment to go back and listen to the VC part while they explain this. Will just 506 asks, what is her job class? So Summer Glacella's main job is a sword weapon type. And then her sub-jobs are Dragoon and Thief. By the way, he's reading out the synopsis for this chapter. So I'm not gonna translate what he said here because it's legit spoilers for people who don't want to be spoiled. But I think it's okay to say what the keywords for this chapter are, right? Is it okay for me to say that? Are you guys concerned about it? There's like 2 keywords for this chapter. Pig Brain says, next week we get double tanks, Rafu and Summer Glaceilla. Yeah, that's likely to be the case. Will just 506 asks, is she sword warrior, sword mage, or sword knight? I'm not too sure about that. I have to go back and listen to it again. I'll talk about this at the end of the stream. It's one of the sword classes, but I don't remember hearing, or rather, they did say which sword class she is, but I kind of forgot about it when Fujita-san was explaining it. Pororo says probably sword knight, right? Because her weapon has paladin. I'm not too sure about that because it's a sword weapon, right? So theoretically speaking, all kinds of sword units will be able to equip that sword. And for the weapon, it's not 100% confirmed. Because, you see, there are, like, for example, if you talk about Melnir's weapon, right? Melnir is a double gunner, right? But Jaden also gains the effects of that weapon as well. So, I don't think you can use Paladin from the weapon to confirm it that way. But one way we can find out for sure is I'm going to listen to the vision card effect description again. Because the vision card has Glaceilla on it, we can use that to confirm which version of the sword class Glaceilla is for sure, using the vision card description. But I believe during the unit description, they didn't actually say which sword class she is, if I'm not wrong. But during the VC part, they did reveal. And Fujita-san's closing comments on Summer Glaceilla is that, obviously she's a tank, and with tanks, they have a lot of, different ways to use it, so please check it out, try her out, and see what you can do with her in the game. So next time, they're going to move on to the special corner, which is the Statistical Analysis Room, Volume 2. So previously, they did one round of these before, on another broadcast about 2 years ago, I think. So it's it was during the second year, sometime during the second year. They did something like this before. But basically, they're going to let us know a bunch of numerical figures and rankings to introduce to us the trends and any kind of unexpected discoveries in the game. So for example, the first thing is who is the unit that is set to be the home screen unit the most. So this is going to be a ranking. This is from only the latest 3 months worth of data. So it's only in the last 3 months. It's a recent data. It doesn't take into factor, things like units from a long time, from like 1 year ago. So the period is probably May, June, July-ish. So looking at the comments in the JP stream chat, a lot of people feel that it's probably going to be Sephiroth, maybe Barret. Of course, that's the meme answer. Fujiya-san is a fan of Barret, but nobody really thinks Barret is the unit. And obviously, a lot of people are going to set Sephiroth. Sephiroth is the first place in this ranking for home unit. Second place is Light Sterne, and the third place is Lightning Alaya. I'm kind of surprised that Alaya is in third place. I thought more people would put Alaya on their home screen. By the way, I have Melnia on my home screen right now, but before that, I did also have Alaya on my home screen, so I definitely contributed to this ranking by quite a bit. And in the past, there were people who have always put Frederica on the home screen. But this time around, it seems that the most popular pick for home screen unit is Sephiroth by the most number of players. Nagai-san is quite happy about these results from a developer standpoint, because obviously Sephiroth is Sephiroth has a special place in the pantheons of Final Fantasy. So I'm sure a lot of people are happy to see that he's actually first place for home unit. They did spend a lot of effort making him as well. Eric Grass, still no collaboration banner. Well, usually August is the summer unit, and then after that, the next collab should be coming at the end of October. So next up, number 4 is Melnia, number 5 is Rafu, number 6 is Dark Fina, number 7 is King Mons, number 8 is Cloud, number 9 is Lightning, and number 10 is Yuna. We're still on the subject of most favorited, or rather the unit that's set as the home unit for the most number of players. I'm not surprised at all that Melnia is number 4. Dark Fina is a unit that has been around for a long time, I guess, and a lot of people do like to set her on the home screen. For King Mon, obviously he's the main character, so there are people who simp him, I guess, put him on the home screen. King Mons is actually used a lot in guild battle and a lot of quests as well, PvE quests. So even though this time around in this corner they're not going to cover guild battle units or PvE quest units, Fujiya-san did want to point out that King Mons is actually used a lot in PvP and PvE. So based on that, he did feel that there's a good chance that King Mons would be set as the home unit, would appear in this ranking, basically. So in that sense, King Mons is kind of, unique about him. That's one thing unique about him, because he's used a lot in PvE and PvE. PvP and PvE. So this is the top 10. And he's looking forward to seeing further changes and trends on this part of the game. Seeing what people put as the home unit. And next one is which unit has the most number of reincarnation numbers? Most number of reincarnations. So this is, in terms of the unit with the most number of reincarnations, as in a single unit, like, which crazy fella out there has, reincarnated a character more than 100 times is basically what this ranking is all about. So if there's a character that's been reincarnated, if there's a character that's been reincarnated 1,000 times, most likely that will be the number 1 unit in this ranking. This is not cumulative. This is individually. Oh my goodness. And number 1 in this ranking is Ramada with 907 reincarnations from 1 player, by the way. This is not cumulative. Placing in at second is Lucio with 343 reincarnations. And at third place is the N Rarity Zazan at 330 reincarnations. So I feel like I need to repeat this. This is not the cumulative number. This is how many times a single player has reincarnated this character. For Lucio, you know what? Regardless of the character, there's like no reason to reincarnate this many times, except if you just want to watch the number go up because of your love for the characters. Number 4 is Camilo, which is kind of surprising. In 5th place is Muraga. Number 6 is Mia. Number 7 is Balo. Number 8 is Raychaz. Number 9 is Whisper. And number 10 is Engelbert. The number of reincarnations they got from a single player is shown on the screen. 220 for Camilo. 208 for Miraga. 100-ish for the rest. They shrunk down the screen so I can't really see the numbers really well without maintaining like a distance from the microphone. But yeah, basically, obviously from the... They tend to be selection quest characters because you don't need scrolls to reincarnate these characters. As for Engelbert and Whisper, you know, you do need scrolls to reincarnate them, so... It's interesting. Nakai-san says that he's happy to see that there are people who would reincarnate Whisper and Engelbert this many times. So the one thing about Whisper and Engelbert is that they are pretty easy characters to use, and as a result, Fujiya-san is quite glad to see that there are people reincarnating these characters as well, out of their love for these characters. Raziel says, Ramana, that can be Justin. yeah, I get the feeling that I wonder how many times he's actually reincarnated Ramada. That would be really interesting to see. Taping says Balo, there is a win. Yeah. And the thing with Balo is that everyone in JP gets his level 140 version pretty much for free through the April Fool's quest. You get like a summon that gives you a level 99 version, and then by clearing the April Fool's quest, you get all the materials you need to get him to level 140. And then after that, of course, you will have to use the standard materials to reincarnate him, should you choose to do so. So right now they're asking the JP stream chat on what kind of statistics they want to see for the next edition of this corner. So I'm not going to translate that. In the meantime, I will read out some of the chat. KWL says collabs in War Division JP have usually been in June, July, August range. They've kind of changed the timing for that already. It's hard to explain why, but I believe the next collab should be at the end of October, right before the anniversary in the middle of November. There's no way they would do a collab in August these days because of the way they've decided to roll out the summer units. It's possible that there may be a collab at the end of August, but I think it's quite unlikely. Next up, we have the arena statistic, the ranking for the most used Aspers. And number 1 is Odin, obviously, for obvious reasons. Nakai-san apologized for that, because, you know, this statistic is kind of stupid to track because obviously Odin is gonna be number 1. Number 2 is Bahamut. Number 3 is Dark Odin. Number 4 is Diablos. Number 5 is Dark Bahamut, followed by number 6 Ramu. Number 7 Omega. Number 8 Greater Demons. Number 9 Anima, and number 10 Golem. So I think most of you guys watching this stream will more or less be able to guess the reasons why these are the most used aspers. But is anyone not sure, or is anyone surprised why these aspers are the top 10 in Arena? The ranking for Arena will actually be quite a bit different from Guild Battle, by the way, because in Arena, one thing that's quite important in Arena is Elemental Resist. So, Vita-san is actually explaining the reason for that. And he just said one of the reasons for this ranking result as well is also that, you know, certain aspects like Diablos and Golem are easier to get in the game as well. So more people may tend to, you know, set them as well. And then, of course, some of them, like Golem, is easy to use for tank characters. So your ease of use probably also factors into this ranking. Manny says they are top because reasons. So obviously with you know, elemental teams, there are certain aspects that will make the most sense for those elemental teams. So for example, Anima and what is the other one? Omega. They tend to be used a lot in dark teams, right? But at the same time, they are also used with other teams as well. So that is one reason behind some of these aspers being, you know, higher in rank. Ramu as well is another easy to use asper that you can, you know, put on a lot of magic units. So next ranking is the use rate for water units. And the reason they included this time is because Summer Unit is a water unit. So these are the most used water units in the game. Astris, Ceres, Perene, Amethyst, Faris, followed by number 6 Tidus, Glaceila, normal Glaceila that is, Miranda, Ildira, and more. So, yeah, there's already a Glaceila water element, right? So I wonder what Madman in World of Visions JP is going to put together a team with Glaceila and Summer Glaceila. I'm sure there will be quite a lot of them. I'm sure this week in Arena we're going to see a bunch of Glaceila only teams once again. This time with 2 water Glaceilas. And then the third one can be either the Wind Glaceila or the Fire Glaceila. Wait. So Wind Glaceila is Spear. And then Water Glaceila is Spear as well. Oh man, too bad Summer Glaceila is a sword character. So next up, you're going to talk about the legendary wheeling queries, the percentage of players who clear the different number of waves. So these are the this is the one that just came out in global, I believe, and then the Necrom. This is the one. This is the third one, I believe. Well, in any case, you know, these are the percentages. Wow, only 4% cleared the new one all the way through, which is a really low number. So the good thing is almost everybody who's an active player in the game has done like the first wave, because just by clearing that alone you do get the weapons, even though they are not, they don't have the special effects if they're not upgraded yet. And then most of the time, if you're able to clear until wave 5, if you're able to clear until wave 7, right, I believe you have enough materials to max out one of the weapons. And then if you clear all the way, you get the materials for both. Daping says, these legendary items show that actually not a lot of people care about them. Well, it's not that, not a lot of people care about them. It's just that, they are some of the hardest content in the game as well. And so in order to make it all the way through, you really need to be playing pretty much at an end game level to be able to have that strong of a team to go all the way. And I do know of a lot of some competitive players don't even clear all the way through for all of these legendary reliquary quests, because most of the time you only need one of them for PvP, right? Or rather, you will focus on one of them. So in that case, you don't really need to clear it all the way. And then Fujiya-san is mentioning now that recently, so one trend with this content is that some people only want to play these quests on auto. They don't want to do it manually. So there are people who just use an auto team and clear up to like the wave 7 or wave 8, just so that they can max one of the weapons. And then there are also players who do half man. They do it mostly on auto, and then at some point they switch to manual. There are people like that as well. So as a result, quite a lot of people do actually clear it halfway rather than all the way through. Now I do hope that at some point they will have like a limited time campaign to make it easier for all the players to be able to clear everything all the way through, because this content actually takes a lot of time to play, right? And eventually you do want to make sure that you clear them all the way so that you can power up all of the weapons. But for some people, they just don't really want to do that unless they really have to for PvP reasons. So I feel that at some point they should try and give us like some kind of campaign to make it super easy for everyone who's a veteran player to just set everything on auto and be able to completely clear the quest. Manny Villanova says, is there an upcoming VC in Global that synergizes well with Sephiroth and Roth's job? The Greater Demon VC is pretty much a must pull if you want to do a dark team with Sephiroth and Rafu. So the Greater Demon vision card is a job-based vision card, but it is it's like the best vision card for dark element teams, because it gives you 15% agility and a bunch of other stuff. So they're gonna do something, because right now Guild Battle in JB just started, so they're gonna do like a funny, like an interesting gag by having Miso Shiru remind people that Guild Battle has started. And that's Miso Shiru cheering everyone in War of the Visions JP on doing well in Guild Battle. And Nagai-san said the same as well. Good luck on your Guild Battle tonight. At least get 3 stars. So went Miso Shiru. By the way, the guild that I'm in, our opponent this week is, or rather tonight, is not that strong, so I'm not worried at all about tonight. Just gonna go and stroll in and get my 3 stars later on after the stream has concluded. Next up, we have ROG campaign. They've done this once before last year, I believe. And Nakai-san, he himself uses an ROG phone as well. This is the ROG Phone 6 Pro. If you're an Android user, this is basically, this is the dark version used by Fujita-san. Sorry. So apparently the ROG Phone 7 just came out in Japan or something. And there is even a ROG Phone 7 Ultimate. So because they're not gonna say this on the stream, I'm gonna say it for them. Even if you have the ROG Phone 7 Ultimate, the loading times is going to be slightly slower than an iPhone. So just so you guys know, I myself am an Android user, by the way, so I don't really care about that. But if you are climbing in the last, in the last 30 minutes of Arena, it's actually slightly more advantageous to be doing it on the iPhone. If you're somebody who's competed for the #1 ranking in Arena, you will probably know that. I believe, with... So anyway, this thing is not going to come to global, but this is a campaign for ROG Phone 7, and it's not that important, but I just want to... So I'm just going to talk about something else that's not on the stream altogether. So the thing with Android and iPhone, right, is that, if you're on Android, it's good enough to compete for the #1 ranking in Arena, and I've done so myself a number of times. But definitely there is a slight advantage on iPhone. So I think the next time Limited Arena comes back out, and if I'm competing for the #1 spot, I'll do it on iPhone instead. JJ Real asks, why is Odin ranked #1, by the way, aside from the fact that it is the oldest dated non-elemental Esper and the accuracy notes plus non-elemental damage. Okay, so the answer to that, I believe, is just the fact that Odin is super fast at 19 agility, and on top of that you have 25 man-eater and 22 accuracy up. And those stats are good enough to, it's a universal kind of Esper. Like, no matter what kind of physical unit that you have, as long as it's an attacker, you do at some point want to use, Odin on them. The main reason is accuracy. If you think about it, there are not that many physical Espers in the game, physical attacker Espers, that give you 22 accuracy up. But Odin is the one that's the most accessible physical Esper that gives you 22 accuracy up on top of Man-Eater 25, which is universal regardless of elements. Regardless of element and regardless of weapon type. So even now in World of Vision's JP, I would say that Odin is still the most used physical Esper for physical attackers because of the accuracy factor. And the second most used the second most used is probably Dark Bahamut, mostly for the damage, but with Dark Bahamut, you're trading away the accuracy factor, right? But if you want factor, right now in JP, the two best options are, I believe, Odin and Sildra, which just came out in global version. And the thing with Sildra is that you have 22 accuracy up, but you don't have Man-Eater. Instead, you have 30 slash attack up instead. And so, obviously, Odin is going to be much better than Sildra in that aspect. So basically, it's mostly for the accuracy reason, like you mentioned. Luciano says, that's why I put Sildra and to get her vision card, but the Esper is the best. Yeah, exactly. So they're now still talking about ROG Phone 7 or ROG Phone 6, so I'm gonna just take the time to read chat instead. They're talking about something to do with smartphone stuff and advertisements and stuff, so it's not that interesting. So I'm gonna just scroll through the chat see if there are any interesting questions, I guess. Ryan says the Dark Odin has 19. You're talking about agility, right? Pororodo says even F Glaceila can prefer Odin. Oh, you're talking about Flat Glaceila. Yeah, even Flat Glaceila can prefer Odin over Dark Tetra because Dark Tetra can be weak versus Fire Evade. Yeah. Well, Dark Tetra also gives you accuracy up though, so I think the main reason people use Odin instead of Dark Tetra Sulfide for Glaceila is because Dark Tetra Sulfide is slightly slower in agility, if I'm not wrong. Luciano Emmanuel says Sildra summon what? Lower AoE minus 25. Sorry, the heart on the YouTube chat is blocking the text. Sildra summon attack lower AoE minus 25. Oh yeah, well, but the thing with summon attacks is that you don't always get to use them in a PvP battle, right? Anyway, Nakai-san just said that so they've come to the end of the information for this time, and this has been actually the 25th edition of the updates, the Leonis updates program, and so they're kind of looking back on doing this, having done this for over 2 years. So they're gonna, before they go off to their closing comments, they're gonna just show everyone the presents that they're getting again. Normally Assalto-san is the one who is introducing this, but because it's not here tonight, they kind of forgot about it. And by the way, like I mentioned earlier, at the end of this stream, I will go back and recap the things I missed out on, like the effects for the vision card, as well as what was the other thing we need to confirm? Does anyone remember? The sub jobs and abilities for Summer Glaceila, as well as her weapon type. And of course, on top of everything you see here, we're getting a 2000 visual as well. Porodo says, I meant because Odin has blind resistance, whereas Dark Tetra on Flat Glaceila can still get blinded. Oh, okay, that makes sense, yeah. That's actually a good point. Dreamland asks, do we have a real water tank in this game? We did. It's called Ceres from the FF6 collab. And now Summer Glaceila is going to be a real water tank as well. Taping mentioned that, you know, back on the discussion about the legendary reliquary stages, he said that sounds like him. Auto 7 and max 1 weapon. Fuya-san's closing comments. So, Summer Glaceila, he hopes everyone will try it out because of what he said about his ability, her abilities. And there's a bunch of stuff that they're preparing. So, please look forward to the future announcements. Please enjoy World of Visions during summer and onward. So you kept it short this time around, but they're preparing a bunch of stuff coming in the near future as well. As you can see with Summer Glaceila this time around, there's kind of 2 new elements introduced with her buff skill. And Nakai-san, if you're wondering why Nakai-san is always loud and bubbly like this, is because he lives close to the ocean, and so he has like I guess he has a bit of a tan as well, right? So Summer Glaceila is coming out tomorrow, actually. It's the character that the JP players picked, and it's been over a year since they announced the popularity poll. Well, almost a year, not over a year. It's a character they worked very hard on in terms of the abilities as well as the design for the vision card as well. So he hopes that everybody will enjoy the character, and this time the the campaign for Glaceila is longer than usual as well. So he's gonna touch on the worldwide edition, worldwide version. So right now, the way that the development team, they've kind of changed the development team, right? So with this change, they do plan to power up and evolve the team. So, and you know, so they've basically used this to power up the team, and he hopes that everyone will look forward to what the newly organized team will introduce to the game. So comments people have about the worldwide version and also world versions in general from this chat, from this JP stream chat, as well as Twitter, they do listen and they do read them. So at some point, Hirono also plans to do something to answer questions from the players, like what will actually change with the worldwide edition. So there'll be such an opportunity in the future. So until then, do keep your comments coming on Twitter and all that stuff. So until then, enjoy summer, and we're almost at the anniversary as well. So they'll be racing at top speed towards the anniversary. Please continue to support the game. Alright, so we've come to the end of the stream. I'm gonna go back to the vision card part to listen to that again. In the meantime, I'm gonna read some questions or comments from chat. Let's see here. Michio says, "Hey bro, thanks so much for the translation and all that. Really appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by onto the stream." So right now we're gonna go back to I'll go back to the vision card thing first because Raid Mage. So he just said the sword group for this vision card is the Raid Mage group. So I believe Glaceila is that sword group as well, because it's the only sword group on the card. So I'm just gonna listen to it once first, and then I'll tell you guys what he said. Okay, so the 4 job classes that benefits from this vision card are Sword, Raid Mage, and others. And then Fist, Katana, and Book. Okay, so the 3 effects are AoE resistance up, and then AP obtained up, and then the third one is the new one, the debuff weakening resistance. Debuff weakening resistance effect. And the bestowed ability is just HP up. So we're going to the vision ability now. Oh, okay. So the ability, this vision card ability is a buff skill, and it will give you a reaction ability for 3 turns to take reduced damage against fist attacks, against strike attacks. So it's not an attack skill, it's actually a buff skill. So we're gonna go back to listen about Glaceila's sub jobs. Chris Metz asks, any units caught your eye or that bad? What do you mean about the vision card? Are you referring to the vision card? They only covered 1 unit this time, right, with Summer Glaceila. Or are you talking about any units to be used for that vision card? I guess we'll take a look. I do have WOTV Calc loaded up here so that we can discuss this later. But I do actually need to look at the list of units before I can think of what team and what units to actually use with that vision card. The main job translates to something like a flower that doesn't get overcome by difficulty. I'll find a better way to like write it in English later. It's these names for the summer jobs are always like the hardest. But it's basically like it's in the same veins of, you know, Summer Halloran's job is like a flower, something flower, right? And Chris Matt says, Raid Mage VC are a near instant grab for me, so yeah, I think you probably have to pick that up. And it's a limited vision card, so you only have 1 chance to get it, or you have to wait until next year. Easy Man suggests maybe Enduring Flower. Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good translation for that, for Summer Glassell's job. Did I already miss the part where they talk about the sub jobs? Luciano says flower that doesn't need to be water because she's water element, right? Hey Bro says, my only worry is the possibility of Squall being Raid Mage category 2. Oh yeah, you should definitely be worried about that. Like, it totally makes sense for Squall. Oh, did I miss it already? Kitty Law is a little surprised. Raid Mage VC again, what? So he's going back to the sword, the weapon class again. single-handed sword. Yeah, like I knew at this point Fujiya-san didn't actually say which version of the sword class Summer Glaceila belongs to, but later on in the VC, obviously because there's only one sword class featured on the vision card, so obviously she's going to be, you know, of the Reed Mage group for the sword class. From Dragoon, he gets Vertigo Jump, I believe is what the move is called. And then from Thief, I believe what he said was Steel Heart is the level 12 move. Yep, that's right, Steel Heart. So she's gonna be really good in guild raids and some other PvP content. Sorry, some other PvE content as well. And versus Evade, if she can't hit Evade, she will try to chum them instead. So definitely a pretty good skill to have. So I'm just gonna listen once and see if there's any important details he mentioned that I didn't catch before. I think the one that I need to confirm is the HP HP percent. Okay, so I think what happens is, so previously I mentioned that this skill here, right, when you upgrade it with EX jobs, you do get the they call it the HP percentage skill, which is when your HP falls below a certain percentage, you get HP recovery up. And then during that section, Fujiya-san actually mentioned that there's one more HP percentage thing about Summer Glaceila that they'll cover later. So that turns out to be from the weapon, which is when your HP falls below a certain HP percentage, you get all elemental resistance up. And I believe because it's HP because it's a HP percentage skill, I believe this all elemental resistance up is going to stack with Alexandrite Ring's all elemental resistance up. But this is something I'll definitely test tomorrow once the unit is out. So now I need to think about if I want to do a stream tomorrow, like a pull stream, because now that it's confirmed she's a water tank, I think I have to pull for her. Right? I think everyone in my guild is going to pull for her, since we're the number 2 ranked guild in War Divisions JP. So yeah, we'll have to discuss it with all the members, because the thing is she is a water unit, and obviously she's going to be weak against Alaya to some extent. So I'm not sure if everybody will just pull for her right off the bat, or maybe we'll wait for a little bit more information tomorrow after the unit is out to decide if she's really necessary for our game plan. Luciano Emmanuel says it stacks. If it stacks with Addict's Ring, then will it stack with the HP set Truststone? Yeah, HP set Truststone, the, what do you call it? The special passive from the HP set Truststone will definitely stack. Because in the first place, when you have it on Alexandrite Ring and you use the HP set of Truststones, it already stacks as it is. So it will definitely stack with the weapon for sure. Chris Matz asks, would she tank better than Agrias as a tank? Oh yeah, definitely. And the thing about her is, as a unit, as a concept for her, because of this skill here, she's much better at, she doesn't only tank for you, but she also makes sure that your allies around her will actually take reduced physical damage as well. And that is obviously really, really great for versus Lightning Alaya, for versus Bards. I would say that she is a really important tank unit. She's the first tank unit that can do this, that can actually give you additional protection for your allies while they are within range of Summer Glaceila. And as you guys know, right now, recently, Global Vision, we had Bards come out. So with the follow-up attack from Bards, this is going to help protect against that as well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to pulling this unit for sure. She seems to be a really great tank, but whether or not she will end up being really necessary or really meta, that is really something we have to look at the full information for the unit before we can really decide how good she actually is. But right off the bat, just looking at this alone, I think a lot of people get the feeling that she's going to be really good as a tank. Or at least that's the expectation for her. Kitty Law says, hey bro, no, Squall will never be water. Well, Squall will be fire, right? Because even, like, I don't know, he gives off the impression that he's a fire unit. Chris Matt says, well, Sylvie has massive upside in JP now. We don't have Sylvie in JP, so yeah. How would in what way are you referring to? Because of the buffs and the healing from Sylvie? Chris Matz also said Squall always felt fire to me. Luciano says I will run her alongside Sephiroth and Ruffle. You're talking about Summer Glaceila? Or are you talking about some other character? Let's see what else people have been saying in chat. Porodoro says Red Mage doesn't have single target resistance, whereas if it was Knight, it could have been complemented with Melnia Vision card. Ah, okay. So while they are talking about all this stuff, and I'm listening for anything I miss out, well, let's go and take a look at the Vision card coverage. Oh, it's this one here. We'll take a look at the... I guess I will... okay, sorry it's kind of cut off on the stream here because I didn't set it up properly, but... you need... cards. Oh, there we go. We're back to the... so first we'll take a look at... let's see if this changes. Okay. Party effect. Red Mage. Sword, Red Mage, and others. So we have... So we're not using this. Maybe we can use Sildra, right? So we'll definitely be using this card here. Wait, actually it... Did they say that it has elemental chain resistance? No, it doesn't. So it can definitely go with this card, and then... what else can it go with? So the thing is, because it's area resistance, I'm pretty sure they want you to use it with water cards. So with water, you can get your single target resistance from Dark Odin is... I guess that's kind of like the way you're supposed to go if you're playing a water team. If you're not playing a water team, which other Dark Aspers has this again, the single target resistance? Dark Silver is... what is it again? I don't actually remember. So definitely, if you're running, you know, that new Vision card, you probably want to run this just for the extra protection. If you're running like a all Red Mage, all Sword Red Mage group. Okay, this doesn't have it as well. So the thing is, you know, all these weapon vision cards, you know, at some point they just introduce more and more, and we will have to see. I mean, at some point, I'm sure there's going to be a single target resistance card for Sword Red Mage users. The thing, though, that I'm kind of excited about is that this new Vision card is going to be a Fist Vision card as well. So, you know, for Fist, right? For the longest time, we've been using this vision card for single target resist. But for newer players who didn't play during the FMA collab, they don't have this card, and so they don't have the single target resistance, right? So if let's say you're a newer player, you just started and you pull for Alaya, you can actually run the Summer Vision card along with oh wait, this is single target resistance. Never mind, forget what I said then. So I guess you can run this card along with the Summer VC card, because that is a AoE card as well. So one thing I want to look at is the characters. Sword Rate Mage. Oh, it's actually not here. Wait, where is the oh, here we go. Sword Rate Mage and Katana and Fist, and the last one is Book. So these are all the units that can use the new Summer Vision card. So first of all, obviously you would use Faris, Perene, and Summer Glaceila, right? I think that's going to be the new water team probably. Because you have healing from Faris, you have the tanking capabilities from what's her name? From Summer Glaceila. And then Perene, so one of the things with Perene is that right now she's really bad because if the opponent has Lightning Alaya, she will go out and just die in a single hit without the HP recovery effect. But with Glaceila, with Summer Glaceila's protection effect, she will probably survive a single hit now. So then she suddenly becomes much more viable than before. And the Vision card, the new Vision card supports all three of them as well. So curious to see. I think that's going to be the new water team that people will form. I'm gonna sort them by elements. I don't think you can do anything with like fire team. Ice team is so I think with ice, right, you can probably do something like Glaceila, Howlet, and Valis, or Glaceila, Howlet, and Reagan. But I'm actually not sure if that is good enough. They're both the Raid Mage class, right? So maybe you can do some kind of cross team with Howlet, Summer Glaceila, and one more unit. Ween doesn't look like it will run that vision card, I think. Yeah, I can't see, I can't think of any combinations that would make use of the new Summer Vision card. Earth as well. Like, unless you want to use it in some kind of strike team. Lightning. Yeah, I don't really see anything really good here. Maybe we'll see Orlando get played again. It's mostly a water card. It's mostly a water-based vision card. As you can see, there's so many characters here that can make use of the new vision card. Asterisk is Raid Mage group. Is he from the Raid Mage group for the sword weapon? Staffu says, hey Odaiba, are you on the recap already? I came in late. Yeah, the stream is over. I'm just basically listening to the JP audio to see if there's anything important I miss out on. But basically, I've even done the recap already. I've talked about some of the things I missed out during the stream earlier. Right now, I'm just looking at what units can make use of the new Summer Vision card. Astrius is sword, Red Mage type, right? Is there a way to tell from this screen? But anyways, the new summer vision card is, if you plan to play water, you pretty much need that, I think. It's a really good card for water units. Light team is, I think you can do, like, you know, some really interesting stuff with light team as well and that vision card. Maybe Summer Glaceila ends up being the best tank for light element as well. That could be a possibility. And then even for dark? Wait. Oh, because of the katana sub-job, right? You could even use Sephiroth with Summer Glaceila and that vision card, and the rest we'll have to figure out the details. But it's potentially a combination that you can do. I'll try and build some stuff tomorrow once I get the vision card and the character, because I feel like both of them must have for most competitive players, unless you don't plan on playing water and you don't want to make sure that you have all the important weapon-based vision cards. So I guess that means I'm doing a poll stream tomorrow night. Around, I'll schedule it again so you guys who are subscribed to the YouTube channel will be able to see what time it will start. But basically, when the update goes live, that's when I'll be here on YouTube doing a poll stream for Summer Glaceila as well as the new Summer Vision card. So I'm gonna just use up all my visual right away, I guess. I just used a bunch on the Summer Jaden Vision card too, so not too happy about that for sure. But it does seem really strong, so I'm really excited to play around with it and see what's good with it. Alright, so I think I didn't hear anything that needed to be explained further, so I think that's going to be it for the stream this time. Before I go off, I'm just gonna take another look at chat, see if anyone brought up something interesting. Pororo says this vision card is the third AoE resistance vision card for Strike. Yeah, is it the third or is it the fourth? There's been a lot already, right? I feel like there's more than 3, maybe. Let's see. But definitely, I feel like... Okay, so my theory with the reason why they keep buffing the Fizz group in World of Visions is because the #1 guild in World of Visions JP went in very heavily on the, reincarnating their Fizz characters. And I feel that probably the developers know about that, and to keep them happy, they are always going to make sure that Fizz will, for a really long time, be really good at the game. That's my theory about it, because the guild that I'm in, right, we actually got to the #1 spot at one point because we hard counted all the Strike teams. And we were #1 in World of Visions JP for about a month and a half or so. And then right after that, they decided to release Lightning Alaya and a bunch of other stuff that buffs the Strike teams. And then now we're not #1 again. So this is my personal pet theory that Fizz team is going to be really good for quite a long time because of that. Because they don't want the people in the #1 guild in World of Visions JP to leave. Stafu says Red Mage and Katana group VCs are stacked. Yeah, I'm quite happy about that as well, because those characters are quite interesting to play. And Kitty Law says, don't forget there will be a muddy Siren following a Glassy 2. Oh no! I need to make sure I have enough visual for Dark Siren as well. It's gonna be a hellish month. It's gonna be hellish. But maybe I think I might just skip Dark Siren. I usually skip the Dark Aspers unless I need it right away. So I still don't have Dark Shiva yet. Easy Man mentioned that Asterisk, I believe, was Katana, so that's why Asterisk was one of the characters that show up in the filters for the characters that can use the new Summer Vision card. That makes sense. Keylaw says, are you pulling Summer Glaceila and Muddy Siren? I don't know about Siren yet. I don't know about Dark Siren yet, but definitely I think I will be pulling for Summer Glaceila tomorrow. So there'll be a stream for that. Kokintat says, did they mention about the Mind Spears for Summer Glaceila? They didn't mention, but as to be expected, she will use the Summer Mind Spears. So if you have any saved up from the other characters, you can of course use it for Summer Glaceila as well. Kitty Law says, normal Siren 20 agility, Muddy Siren 13 agility, please. No. Yeah, tank Espers tend to be on the lower end of agility. Skyfire X says, Worldwide will probably skip Dark Siren for now, LL. Yeah, I believe so. So I think what's going to happen for global version is they'll release this week Ralfu and Summer Glaceila. This is my personal theory, right? It's not confirmed yet. But I think tomorrow they'll announce that this week we're getting both Ralfu and Summer Glaceila. And then the week after that, we're getting Greater Demon's Vision card and the new Summer Vision card. Speaking of, I actually didn't read out the name of the Vision card. It's called Hamabe no Shosha, which basically means beachside victor. So I think they're talking about beach volleyball. The winners of the beach volleyball game that they're playing. So for now, we'll call it beachside champions. Might be a good name. Basically, it's referring to the people, the characters who won during this beach volleyball game. Christmas says, aren't they pushing GLEX units into JP a bit faster than normal? No, they didn't actually mention that. It's not even confirmed if the rest of the GLEX units will come to JP. They said that they'll base it on the feedback they get from players, what they're hearing, and then when there's a good opportunity or a good timing to release one of the older GLEX characters, they'll think about doing it. But it's not confirmed that they're coming. It's just that the players believe that they will introduce more GLEX characters in August and possibly September, because with this announcement, you do need to give global version some time to breathe, right? So this is basically a theory from the players side, but they never actually confirmed if they will be bringing the rest of the GLEX characters to JP. Stafu says, I don't play water, but I may have to pull just to complete my Glaceila multiverse account. Yeah, and like I mentioned earlier, I'm pretty sure this week there will be a lot of Glaceila multiverse teams in Arena. So I look forward to checking that out as well. Alright, so I guess that's going to be it for the stream this time. Thanks to everyone for staying around. So once again, tomorrow I will be doing another stream to pull for Summer Glaceila and look at her full kit in detail. So if you're interested in that, do make sure to check back on my YouTube channel. I'm gonna do the scheduling later on after I finish the stream. So for those of you guys who are already subscribed to my YouTube channel, you'll see it somewhere on the YouTube home screen eventually. If not, you can always just come directly to my YouTube channel, go to the live section, and you'll see the scheduled broadcast. So that's gonna be it from me this time around. Thanks everyone for sticking around and watching the stream. Yeah, Luciano, I will definitely be doing my pulls tomorrow, so look forward to that. Caesar Pereira says, Summer Jaden, give global 1 week. Yeah, it didn't even give us 1 week, because during the Summer Jaden release in JP, they released another new Vision card, which I'm sure they have to release in global before the end of September. So they didn't even give us global. Summer Jaden didn't even buy us 1 week for global. That's the sad truth. All right, thanks everyone. I'll see you guys next time. I'll see you guys tomorrow, to be specific.